minute, don't know. Got a minute of your time. Got a minute of your. I sure gotta live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. God of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its sides. Fall down, that from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye.
Hello, welcome, beautiful people. How are you?
Welcome to our podcast, From Vision to Success.
From Vision to Success.
Where we come in weekly.
We come in weekly.
I am like astonished that we have any viewers. Sorry. Anyway, if you're new with us, welcome. We have a ton of different podcasts that you can check out on the Facebook page, MTC Live, on YouTube, and on other streams.
You are struggling this morning.
I know. I'm sorry. Anyway, welcome. We're happy that you're here.
Yeah. So today was very rough morning for me.
Why?
Because you walked in my studio.
And I started judging.
Yeah.
According to Miguel, I judge, and I don't. He was just telling me on his next. Sorry, not next. On his...
Say it. Just say what you really mean.
No, you were just sharing with me what you're currently into right now as far as products. So if you must know something about Miguel, is that he's heavily into health supplements, like anything that can make his life easier, he's there. And if it
feels like a backhand.
No. It's not.
Okay.
No. It totally is. I totally understand why you do it. I've shared with you, if I had the financial resources to do it, I'd 100% do it. I would stack up on supplements and like different things, right? So I totally get it. I totally get it.
Okay. So I'm always getting, okay, so like the backstory is the following. I'm always getting all these ads, right? For like,
they're target you're the niche. You're the perfect niche.
They're targeting me. I'm putting somebody through college. I get it and understand.
Many people through college.
a lot of kids are going to school because of me, and so and I'm always trying. I'm always like, you know what? Let me give it a try, whatever. And I'm always curious. And so the latest thing, but I've also been conscious, is that I don't recognize some of the ingredients, and then I'm like, really, how healthy can this be, right? And so,
well, yes and no. I'm like, some products are there to just like give it sustainability to the product, so they give it a longer shelf life. It doesn't mean that they're bad for you, right?
And then that's fine. And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, oh wow, this is really expensive. Like this is, like for 15 bottles is like $200, and I'm like,
whoa, 15 bottles, like so for 15 servings.
Yeah.
Would it be 15 servings?
No, this is another example. Like this is another product that I purchased, right?
Okay.
But then the first purchase is like they give you like 25% off. And so I'm like, okay, it's 25% off. Let me try it. And I try it. I'm like, I'm not willing to continue spending $200 every 15 days. So then I normally stop, and I'm like,
that's $400 a month.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't do it. Again, I don't do it, right?
You just tried it out.
So that I'm a first step guy. I'll do the first step with the discount, with the bulk, and I'm like, let me give it a fair shot. Let me give it a review, and whatever. But nothing's really stuck. I'm like...
Do you have a favorite product that you've tried? Because I know you've done a ton of different things. Like, we're talking that he had this spray he used to put under his tongue to give him energy, and he's like, it works, dude, look. And then he would like do it before a podcast, and I'm like, or he had these vials that he would like open a box and be like mixing concoctions, and then he would like shot it. So I don't remember the name of the. Is that the $200?
It doesn't matter.
Anyway, and then he had like mud coffee. I don't know, or like it was not coffee, but it was like a mud water.
Yeah, it was called mud water. It was like lion's mane and a whole bunch of other gingers and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, so he had that for a while. And I don't know. Often I see like boxes here and there of things and like supplements. So I'm never quite sure of what you're trying.
Yeah.
So this morning I was like, "Oh, you have a smoothie." And he's like, "Well, let me tell you."
So this is product that's called, I think it's called, I don't forget what it's called.
Revive, you said.
Revive. That's right. And so they send some. Wait, who's calling me? Don't people know that I'm in a pub? They send you pre-made smoothies, frozen, like the blueberries or just like whatever, mangoes with like, coca leaves and all this other stuff, whatever, right? Whatever.
Coca leaves.
Not coca leaves.
That's what you said.
Did I say coca?
As a coca, I was like, no wonder you're super relaxed. Like,
I think it's mocha cocoa, coca mocha.
okay, I don't know, maybe.
Anyways, it's legal. All I know, it's legal. And all you have to do is just rip the top off and just add your liquids.
And you blend it, yeah.
And then you just throw it in the blender, right? And it's a nice little small cup, whatever. They're about $3 kind of thing. Or your first order. Anyways, and so it's been amazing because in the morning, like sometimes I'm down here, I'm working and I can't get to like whatever. And I just need to make something. And so I'll grab it, peel it, put my liquid, my creamer.
Peel it, pop it, mix it, put it in the locket. Anyway, yeah, so they are. So he does really like it. They are.
I do. You want to try it?
No, I'm good. Because, I'm tracking. I'm on 75 hard, so I'm very meticulously as far as what I eat.
75 hearts.
So I'm good, but thank you.
Destroy your life.
Thank
Anyway,
you for
so
sharing.
I'm actually working. I sent them an email because I believe this is how much I believe in this. That I wanna partner up with these guys.
That's awesome.
I want to see if we can get them to sponsor the show or whatever. Because I honestly I believe this. I believe in the other stuff. I was like, I like it. I don't want to spend the money. But this stuff, even Tegan was just like, this is a phenomenal concept. I'll show you all the different flavors afterwards.
No, I'm sure it's amazing.
Nobody asked you. So,
no, I can see the value in it, and I can see why it would work, right?
So she comes in and starts like judging me and all these
I am
different
not
things.
judging
You were
you.
judging.
No, I'm not judging. Like I told you, I do love supplements, don't get me wrong, but my supplements are more basic. I just like a good pre-workout, I like a good protein shake, and I usually like a good BCAA kind of thing, right? Just for muscle recovery, but that's as far as I go.
This is really good.
Good.
Holy. Anyways, welcome to the podcast,
Yes,
everyone.
welcome.
This is what was happening this morning. And so I was on a high, but then she came in and
I don't know what he's
destroyed
talking
me.
about. Anyway, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Did you know that we have some watchers in Argentina?
No, I did not know.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
so glad.
So somebody sent me a message and they're like, "Hey, we've been watching you from Argentina. Thanks for the podcast.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
We're going worldwide,
Listen, that's what it's all about.
Mr. Worldwide." So today's topic is very. Oh no! Before we get to today's topic, how was your weekend, Maria?
It was good. It was busy.
Any drama?
With what? No drama, actually. It was
Listen,
pretty
you
relaxed.
are a walking telenovela.
I
Like,
am not. There was no drama. I'm
Church was
reading.
good.
Church was good. I'm reading some books that is helping me. That is helping me through my own personal drama. No, but for reals, like I have I'm in a good place. So there's no drama, no
Really,
nothing.
huh?
Like yeah,
All right.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling empowered. Yeah, everything. What about you? Drama in your life?
No, I.
So tell me, why were you hiding on Friday? So on Friday we had
What?
a youth
Oh.
event, and this guy went. Usually we both go, and I was talking to people. I saw him here and there, and then he went and disappeared, and then I saw him in the car hiding. So I was
wasn't-
just wondering,
I wasn't hiding, so I was.
meditating,
No,
crying,
you know what?
having
Sometimes.
an emotional
Okay,
release.
are you asking me the question, or you're giving me the answers? Like, what's going on right now?
Both.
Normally, normally I'm in there and I'm socializing, whatever. But then it's Friday before the long weekend or before the March break,
Yes.
and so I had a whole bunch of emails that I had to reply back. And so originally I was in the chapel after the lesson was done. So Fab Friday in our church, what ends up happening is every second Friday of every month there is a big, huge, massive youth activity where about 80
To 100.
to 100 actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's accurate. 80 to 100 youth come together into this building. There's a lesson for about 30-40 minutes, and then there's activities, right? And so scavenger hunt,
It was foosball.
Foosball, human
yeah.
foosball.
Mm-hmm.
So we've done a whole bunch of. We were gonna do egg drop, but then it got canceled because of the weather. Anyways, long story short, whatever. So I was in there. I listened to the lesson. Phenomenal lesson.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a kick butt lesson.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. And then I'm like, crap. I gotta send out these emails. And so I was starting to send these emails, but I kept getting interrupted.
Of course, because I totally get it. If you know Miguel, Miguel attracts a lot of attention. No, he truly does. Like you're such a like a bright light, so obviously people want to talk to you, right? So I get
and
it.
I don't mind it, and I love talking to people, and like this is my personality. I love connecting, and especially seeing people that I haven't seen in a long time. And so I'm like, if I don't get this done, it's gonna be like I don't want to bring this work home. And so I just went to the car and I was just like answering emails from there.
Yeah.
And so I was there chilling, and then all of a sudden I see Mike right up onto the window. Ah!
I know. We like Mike and I just went and like banged on the window, and then we had to leave.
But
so
from
that
my
was...
from my point of view, his face was so distorted. So here's the thing is, right? I'm answering my focus and energy was on the email. I looked up and his
so the distorted man.
Yeah, this and then whatever, and I just couldn't figure out who it was. And so I was like more scared than anything. I was like, should I open the window? Should I recognize this homeless? Like, what is how?
You know what I should have done? I should have tried to get into your car. Maybe it wasn't locked, and I would have gone through the back and like scared you.
I would have.
Okay.
I learned a new word, shard. You know, shard, like shards.
Okay. Yes. What does it mean?
Like like shards, like shards of glass,
Okay. Yes.
right? But then kids are now using it for other stuff,
Okay.
like shard, like pooped your pants.
That's what I thought it
Yeah.
meant, right?
Yeah, so I would have shard my pants.
Oh my
Hard core.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna try to do next time.
What,
Next
shard
time.
my pants?
That will be, and then I'll come and tell everybody all about it.
You did not do that. You do not do that. But so you just finished watching Dune 1.
I did.
How was it?
It was really good.
Yeah.
It was really, really good. I'm really excited to go see Dune 2. I know you've already seen it.
We've seen it. We're going with you guys.
Oh my gosh,
Tegan wants to go so bad again.
Yeah, so I'm like, let's do it this weekend. I'm excited.
Yeah.
It was such a well done. Sorry, I thought somebody was coming in. I was like, oh my gosh. It was such a well done movie.
There's nobody there.
Now I'm like, don't freak me out. Now I have to go this way. Anyway, I'm excited to go see it for sure.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
a really good, really good movie. They're the men in our ward. They're getting together on Tuesday to go watch it.
Oh, that's amazing. Are you going to?
I want to, but then going with you guys would be the third time watching that movie, and I don't know if I like it that much. I like it. I'm willing to watch it twice,
Yeah.
3 times with the kids,
Yeah.
but then like
Fourth, you'd be like,
twice in 1 week, and then when it comes out, watch it again with the kids. Like, I mean, yeah,
it might be a little too much.
might be a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But it was a very the cinematography, the score, it's very very well done. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
I think Tegan has a crush on the main guy there.
Timothy, whatever his name is.
Whatever his loser name is.
Timothy Shadeen, something like that.
You just destroyed his name.
Probably.
Yeah, anyway, every time she sees him, she's like it's like, relax. I can't see you back.
I'm gonna be on the lookout when we go to the movie. When he
Oh,
comes
yeah?
out, I just look at Tegan.
You'll see her reaction 100%. Other than that, nothing else?
Well, no, it was busy. I can't even remember what I did on Saturday.
I told you about Friday. My what happened to me on Friday, right? No, Thursday.
Yes, how sick you were.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you know what? Saturday we did our podcast.
Yes.
Then after I think I went shopping, and then honestly I don't know, that day kind of like flew, but Sunday was so busy for me. Sundays are my busiest days.
Really?
Yeah, because of all the meetings. So we go to the same church. We have a ton of meetings because we are part of leadership.
Same faith, not same building.
No, yeah, same faith, different buildings,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, my days start, and with the hour change.
Yeah, that threw me off too.
Yeah, so
What time are your meetings?
10 o'clock. So you mean
Okay.
like my overall meetings?
No, your leadership meetings.
My leadership meetings start at 8. So 8 to 9 is
Oh,
my
really?
first leadership meeting. Then I had a meeting with the bishop between 9 and 10, and then we finished like a few minutes before then. So I went into the young women's room to prep the room and just get some stuff sorted out for our youth class. Then we had church. Raquel gave a talk. So Raquel, she's This girl, my daughter, I just have to say, obviously she's my favorite human being ever. But one of my favorite. I have I have 5 favorite human beings, including my husband. Obviously, he's the first, and then and obviously Miguel, you're after my kids.
Actually, I prefer to be before the kids.
No, you're after my kids for sure. Come on, you've met Raquel. Raquel and like the rest of my kids are amazing.
Okay, so after Raquel, but before the other ones.
No. Anyway.
No.
So Raquel, she is well beyond her years. She's only 12 years old, but you've met her. She's incredibly smart.
Yeah.
So last year when it was the first time she was assigned a talk. So a talk is pretty much you address the congregations like a small sermon. So she was giving a 3 to 5 minute talk last year, and this girl does presentations left, right, and center. And I was like, okay, Raquel. I was like, you're going for 5 minutes. So you're going to go ahead. You're going to prep a 5-minute talk. And she's like, okay. And I showed her the resources. So I showed her the church website. I showed her like how to look at the talks and like highlight different questions and how to write a talk essentially. But she did most of the work. She did pretty much all of the work, right? I was freaking astonished by her talk. A 5-minute talk that I was like, oh my gosh, I did not hear it until the day she got up and read it. So it was the same thing. She was assigned a talk.
Were you crying?
The first time I was. Yesterday, I was like so super proud of her, but then I was laughing a little bit because after she was so nervous that she literally ran from the pulpit to come and sit with us. And like her feet weren't going fast enough, so her body was leaning forward. It was like clearly she's nervous. I mean, I get it. There was probably about 80 people there.
Yeah.
And she is 12 and she's in front of like youth, adults, kids, peers, like exactly, right? So but she did fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah, she did, she gave like a
5 minutes?
Yeah, she does 5 minutes. I pushed them to do 5 minutes.
I know that's small.
No, but our youth talks are usually 3 to 5.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, mister. Let me get on my horse and show you how I do it.
No, it's not. Jeez, I can't even say anything. Because normally it's 2 to 3 talks, and that's about 10 minutes. Yeah. So two talk. If it's 2 talks, the first speaker it's about 10 minutes. The second speaker is 15 to 20.
Well, we had 3 talks. So she was 5 minutes. And then we had the second talks, which was probably, I would say the second speaker took about 15 minutes and the last speaker took about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how it kind of rolled out. But yeah, it was really good.
We try and give our youth more time.
Oh, please. I'm sure that they only do like 3 to 5 minutes as well.
No.
Okay. I'm going to have to come and check out your.
Yeah. I'll tell you, like, it's, and I don't know if it's per manual. Like, I don't know if it's about the manual, but I know that there's been a more encouragement. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
Because we got some of the younger kids, the ones that have just got into the youth program.
Yeah.
They would probably benefit from a 5-minute talk, right? Which granted, the older kids, yeah, we try and push like any 16, 15 plus.
Oh, yeah. They're older.
We're trying to give them like 10, 12 minutes speaking.
Parts. That's a big jump. That's exciting though.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
And it's interesting because here's the thing is, right, when you give them the opportunity, they will excel.
Yeah.
Right. And then who's ever conducting is fully aware that they may go shorter. So then we prepare something like final words or final regards towards the end.
That's what I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing with all youth is that you have to have an expectation.
Yeah.
Like it's supporting where they're at, but being like, hey, you can do this. Like with Raquel, I was like, you're not doing the 3 minute, you're going for a 5 minute, right?
Yeah.
And so she prepared, she did it, she practiced at home, and she was like, okay, I'm at 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And with her talk, I didn't hear it until Sunday again.
Wow.
She doesn't really share with us prior to that, but yeah, I'm a proud mama. Look at her, that's my baby.
Yeah. So going back to me, because it's all about me right now.
Yes.
Thursday, I was not in a good space.
I know.
Body wise.
He was. Things were happening on both ends.
And you know. Oh yeah, on both ends. So I think I figured out what happened.
What?
It wasn't like a flu or anything like that.
You ate something?
I think I ate something. I think it was one of those power shots that I had.
Maybe it had gone bad.
Yeah. So I was looking it up. Like ginger shots and beets, whatever. And then they say it's depending where it's refrigerated and if it's vacuum sealed or whatever, it's anywhere between 48 to 72 hours.
And you had it like on the 4th
and
day?
I made it on Sunday.
And it was Thursday.
And then Thursday morning I had 2 shots. And then I think it went bad. But then I was just like, yeah. So not to get too graphic, but on my last appointment, my 5th appointment, on the way there, I was like, I am not going to make it. I am either going to pass out in the middle of the presentation, and then all of these kids, Coach Martinez died, right? And all these different things. And so I need to go to the, I need liquids. And so I went to the gas station, bought a ginger ale. And I'm like,
Sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing.
so supportive. I'm like,
Must
can
be.
and as calmly as possible, I'm like, can I get a ginger ale? So I grabbed a ginger ale. I'm like, is there a bathroom here? And so I went to the bathroom, and then I'm like,
Things happen.
psyching myself. I was like, okay, you got this. You got this. Just a fire hydrant projection out of my mouth. It was ridiculous.
But you felt better after, right?
Immediately. Like there was an immediate, so that's why I know it must have been like something that I ate. Because as soon as I just released everything, I stood up and I was like, oh, I'm better. And so I was just, then at that point, I was just dizzy because I was malnourished.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't put anything in my body, and besides the morning and all this other stuff. And so, but yeah, I came home, sorted it out. And then next day, Friday, I was golden.
Wow.
So make sure that when you make your smoothies or power shots.
Well, make sure that when you follow Miguel's advice, you double check, fact check.
Listen, when the recipes about creating ginger shots and beet shots, they don't tell you to how long you should refrigerate it for. They just say make it and drink it.
So you were like, yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna make a week's worth. Don't do that.
You learned the hard way.
I learned the very hard way. So I think it was that. I think it was something that I ate.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about today?
All right. So today's topic is celebrating the small wins. Okay. So what does that mean to you?
Small wins.
Yeah. How do you celebrate? Like, what does that mean?
Well, there's different ways of celebrating.
Okay.
There's outward and inward,
Mm-hmm.
right? So outward celebrations is letting people know.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're trying to accomplish something and you want to wake up early, you got to and you want to go from like 5 a.m. to like 4 a.m. but you're doing it in increments of 15 minutes and 15 minutes, and you do it, and you wake up at 4:45 and you're excited and whatever the case is. You got to let people know, like, oh my gosh, look at my accomplishments, look at what I did. And you got to be careful doing that too as well. I just make sure that you tell your circle, like the people that will be proud of you, even if it's 15 minutes, whatever. So you got to be mindful of that. And then inward celebration is like reward yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so feel proud, feel good, look in the mirror and just be like, I'm so proud of you. And then if it's the bag of Doritos, or if it's a chimichanga at McDonald's or the McRib, just figure it out, but celebrate your successes. So those are my...
That's how he celebrates.
The what?
That's how you celebrate the chimichangas and the Doritos.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
this.
Oh, 100%. I'm like, I if I set something up for accomplishment and I do it, I will not... If it's legal, I will buy it.
Yes. Yeah, I get it.
McDonald's McRib.
Yeah.
That was not a good purchase. But anyways, I've always wanted to try it. I'm like, I got to do X amount, and then I'm going to go and do it. And I did it, and I tried it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good decision because it tasted horrible. Processed meat.
Yeah.
So to me, that's what it means, celebrate your success. By the looks of you,
No, I'm like...
You don't agree?
No. I totally get
Oh,
it.
okay.
Like, no. I think celebrating your wins, it looks very different to everybody. That's why it's important to define it. Like, what is celebrating a small win for you? Or what is celebrating a win? So basically what this whole principle is saying is that don't wait until you have accomplished the big thing. Don't wait until you're like, okay, I have this like insane goal that I'm going to lose 50 pounds. And then when I'm 50 pounds, I'm going to be happy and I'm going to celebrate and I'm going to do all these things. No. You don't want to do that, right? You want to build momentum. And the way that you build momentum is by celebrating the small wins.
Yeah.
So just kind of came to mind, Mike and I had an experience when we were years ago when we started doing our financial kind of get fit, so financially, when we first got married, Mike was always financially minded. I was not, right? So he was the saver, he was the budgeter, he was everything like that. For me, I just kind of flew by the seat of my pants. I was like, if it can be put on a credit card, we'll put it on a credit card and then we'll pay it off. Right?
Yeah.
I wasn't in debt per se, but my mindset was like, yeah, I'll get it now and pay it later. I work. Why shouldn't I be able to get it now and pay it later? Right?
Yeah.
Which kind of led us into a place where we were having kids and we were in a hamster wheel. So we would get in debt for the year. Then every year we would receive the tax return. We'd pay it off, would be at zero, and then it would happen again. So finally, when we had Ruby, our fourth kid, we're like, we can't keep doing this. It feels like we haven't progressed. We haven't really done anything. So we started our financial journey, right? We started reading and doing all that stuff. Excuse me. So when we started our financial journey, we had a ton of consumer debt and we decided to tackle it. And the approach that we use is a snowball effect. So we did Dave Ramsey. What he said is like, you look at your smallest debt and then you tackle that small debt, you pay it off, and then you go to the second, and you go to the third, and you go to the fourth. So then, sorry. I totally stopped because I'm reading a comment.
What is that?
Anyway, so what happened was that
So the comment is they want to know how we're doing.
we're doing great. Thank you for asking. Sorry, I totally kind of dislodged. Miguel, I missed doing the waka waka with you.
Oh, okay. So I do know this person. All right, Camille, how are you? Yes, I missed doing the waka. Sorry.
You're going to have to remind him how you guys know each other.
Please let me know, Camille. Yeah, So the waka waka when I'm with the kids and stuff like that, I normally do like a warm up, and
Okay.
it's the waka waka by Shakira.
Oh, there you go. So that's how you know that's
That's
the
how I
connection,
know this
right?
person. Yeah, so for sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry. Hi, Camille. All right.
So anyway, just kind of getting back to the snowball effect.
It's also called debt stacking.
Yeah, that's stacking, right? So that's actually how we build better habits as far as the spending and getting into a budget and being like financially minded. So when I think about doing the small wins, it's actually the same thing. What you want to do is you want to build momentum. If you're celebrating continuously and you're like for instance, maybe today what you're celebrating is the fact that you actually sat down and did the work that you're doing and you journaled it and you're like, you got to bask in that feeling. You got to sit down and be like, wow, I actually follow through with what I said. And then you know what's going to happen when you celebrate those small wins? You're going to release dopamine.
Yeah.
So dopamine is a feel-good chemical that's in your body. And dopamine gets released when you do things that are good for you and not so good for you.
Yeah.
Right? But
It's an addictive chemical.
it is. So your body wants more and more of it. But if you train it to actually feel it when it's something positive, it will build momentum. So it could be anything. It could be like you said, like for you celebrating it's a bag of Doritos, right? I don't think I could do that. I'd
No
be
regrets.
so bloated.
No
It would hurt.
regrets.
Like that is not celebrating to me. But that's just because my stomach,
Because you're
I
on
would
this
balloon
stupid
up.
75-day hard. That's
No,
why.
it's just overall. Overall, if I did a ton of treats, you have no idea. Like I
I'm not
blow
saying
like no.
listen, I'm not saying go to the dollar store and empty out their shelves. I'm saying sitting down, watching
The
a movie,
family size.
and maybe not the family size, but a bag of Doritos is like
Yeah, so whatever it is that honestly, I think this is such a personal thing, but if it is a bag of Doritos, do it. But it's something that helps you to feel accomplished, right?
Yeah.
And you want to celebrate that because it's about the momentum that it builds.
Yeah.
And you never want to have a mindset of I'll be happy when. Because
Yeah.
even when you achieve that big success that you're looking for, that sense of fulfillment that you're hoping to get it when you get there is not going to be there. Or maybe it'll be for like a second, but that's it.
Now to aid you,
Yes.
there's two principles that I really want people to understand here. Number one is that celebrating a success is towards a goal is transferable to other things.
Yes.
Like so when I go to the gym and I lift heavy things, let's say I lift a heavy dumbbell, my strength is not just isolated to dumbbells.
Yeah.
Right? If I come home and the couch needs moving around, if a friend calls me and needs a piano to be moved, I can use that exact same strength that I've gained in the gym with dumbbells and transfer it to lifting heavy things outside of the gym.
Yeah.
So when you celebrate, the principle of celebrating a success and that releasing of dopamine and the feeling of accomplishment and all that other stuff, that feeling is transferable to other things, other goals and aspirations, other categories in your life like family, faith, friends, and business and all these different things. And so being able to celebrate something small and feeling accomplished and like you've succeeded in something, is so, so important.
Yeah.
The second principle that I really want to emphasize today is the setting up of celebrating small wins.
The what? The setup of celebrating small
The
wins.
setup
Okay.
of celebrating the small
It's
success.
not you. It kind of like went mumbo jumbo in my brain. I was like, what is he saying? He's
Hey.
moving his mouth. I'm not sure. I'm like,
He's saying words right now.
I'm like, I just smiling on.
I know. I could tell. Your
I'm
face was
hoping
just
that you're
like,
not. I know. I'm hoping that you won't ask me a question because I'm like, sorry. What was the question? What are we talking about?
no, hang on. Let me say it again.
Okay.
It is so important that you set up because you got me all messed up. Yo, stop it. You're such a loser. Listen,
I don't know why I'm laughing.
I know. Neither do I.
I'm like crying laughing. Okay, the setting up of small wins.
Yeah.
The setting up of success of small wins.
No, you gotta help yourself set up the importance.
Do you mean like prep your mind
No,
and being like
no. You have to set up the celebrating of the small successes. So
Okay.
here's what I mean.
Okay.
So you have a big goal.
Yes.
Okay. And so to get to the big goal, you have to set up small milestones.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Not too big, but big enough to reach and stretch a little bit.
Yeah.
But just accomplishable.
Mm-hmm.
That will lead towards that big win, that big goal, that big whatever. And so if you don't set up those achievable milestones and on a daily basis you're not hitting them, then you're never celebrating small successes.
Yeah.
You're never celebrating those small wins. And so these small baby steps, you have to set them up in a way that they are achievable on a daily basis. So if you are planning on writing a book, instead of like, today I'm going to write 10 chapters and I'm going to write 10 chapters every
month?
every day for the month, right? Kind of thing. And it's just like, it's a good goal, right? It'll make you stretch, but you may not accomplish it. 10 chapters a day, like that's pretty hard. Why don't you start off with 5 pages?
Yeah.
That's achievable. And then when you do it, now you're setting yourself up for these small wins.
Yeah.
And because the setup is there,
Mm-hmm.
then when you hit those small wins, you are absolutely, and that small 5 pages are contributing to the bigger picture of writing that big book.
Yeah.
Right. So the setup needs to be just as important as it is for everything else.
Yeah. I agree. No, I totally agree. Sometimes, we're so quick to overestimate what we can do in one time, but so quick to underestimate what we can do continuously if we just Okay. What I mean,
Your
we're
turn.
having issues. Honestly, guys,
I'm not having issue. You're the one.
We should just log off. I have no idea what I'm saying. No, I guess in reality, what
So
I'm
the
saying.
hemisphere of the triangular root
No.
of the.
Okay, so what I'm saying is actually, you know what? There are people who are like, yeah, I can for sure do that. Yeah, I can do it in one sitting. Yeah, no problem, right?
Yeah.
And they'll 100% try to do it because they overestimate their capacity to do it.
Okay.
But they
Why though?
What do you mean? Why do they underestimate their
Why do they
overestimate? I'm not sure actually.
Momentum and motivation, but that
true
that
motivation.
doesn't last.
When you're high on motivation, you're like, heck to the yes, I can do that.
Yeah.
And then you actually get there and you're dying.
That doesn't last.
No, for 100%. Motivation does not last.
Motivation is important, and it's important to maybe light the fire.
Well, it gets you started. Motivation gets you started.
Exactly. It's the turning the key to a car.
Yeah.
Right. It's that spark. It helps the car and the pistons just start going, whatever. And we all need it. We all need that, daily motivation or whatever. But just you need to understand that motivation itself, period, is not going to get you to where you want to go.
Yeah.
What you need a plan, and you need to be disciplined, and you need to be consistent.
Yeah, consistency over intensity.
Keep going over and over and over and keep doing it and nonstop and whatever the case is, and having a plan, having a person that you can connect with and getting educated and all these different things, that's what's going to help you get to your overall goal. And again, going back to this very, very simple principle, give yourself a goal on a daily basis that you can reach, because when you hit that goal, you're like, oh man, I feel good. You feel inspired, and then screw the motivation. I can do this whether or not I'm whatever. And then you just keep going and keep going.
Well, it builds momentum. You
Yeah.
like it leads you into the next action,
Yeah.
right?
It's-
Something that I like to do is I create daily to-do lists. Even habits that I automatically do anyway, I
Yeah.
still write them down because just the fact that I'm check marking things
Yeah.
off, it gives me a feel good sensation that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like, look at how much I've already accomplished, right?
Yeah.
And then it actually helps me to do the harder things that are harder for me because I already look at what I've been able to do.
Yeah.
And then I look at something that perhaps is a little bit more challenging. And I'm like, okay, let's do this. I can do this kind of thing.
So what's a big goal right now that you have? Because I know one that you have, and I don't know if you're where you're at.
I have multiple goals that I'm not.
Where are we with this?
We're still working on it. We're chipping away.
April 6th, Maria's book.
We're chipping away.
We got 18 orders.
18 orders. So we're chipping away. So I have multiple. I have this goal. I have a real estate goal. Those are the two main ones.
Are we gonna do the same thing that what happened last time?
Maybe. I don't know.
Really?
In all honesty, okay. There are certain things that come easier to me than others.
Yeah.
Right? And right now, what's coming easier to me is real estate. I'm not saying that I'm going to give that up. Like, that's not what I'm saying. And I'm still working towards that.
Come
right?
on, Maria.
No, I am.
We need this book. What are you doing?
It is it's I've done a lot, but it's just really messy right now. But yeah, I am working towards it. And this is the goal.
For reals.
For reals. I have the only thing that derailed me a little bit was when I got sick and I got the flu.
Yeah, that's fine.
But as far as that, I am about consistency over intensity, right? So
Right.
even if I do 5 minutes of something, it's better off me not doing anything about it.
Fine.
So
every day you're doing something
well, I haven't.
towards this goal.
Well, when I was sick, no.
No, we're not talking. We're not talking. Stop avoiding the question. Stop avoiding the question.
So no, right now I have to jump back in because I've been overrun with my real estate goals. In all honesty, it like 100%.
I don't want you to put this thing off to the side.
I know. But in all honesty, it's just that we have a corporation and we had to do corporate taxes and there's a ton of stuff that I had to do. And there's a deep like learning curve for me with regards to that. So there was a lot of video watching, it's a lot of documents, it's a lot of meetings.
Yeah.
And so that took majority of my time. But yes, I am still committed and I still have my 3 consistent things that I am working towards.
So just to let you guys know, April 18th, your books are going to be on back order.
No, shush.
So
Shush.
just to let you know.
Okay,
like,
and if you're new to our podcast,
you know what we should do?
What?
Just to really like just get the knife in there deep and just like let it hurt. We're going to start taking orders.
No, we're not going to start taking.
We're going to listen to me. We're going to start taking orders. And then we're gonna like I'm gonna create a website.
Hold on, let me see what Vanessa's saying. Question for y'all.
Hang on, no.
Because it's mindset, and I'm at the moment you're going through. Okay, and I'm at the moment you're going through a defeat, the kind where you thought things were going well, and it just blows in your face. There's no desire to celebrate any win. Where do you find it again, or what do you do? What do you do to feel like saying yay to the small wins? That's a good question. So one of the things that I'd recommend is that action creates feeling. So even though you don't want to celebrate and you don't feel like celebrating because maybe things are sucking right now and you're embracing the suck and you're going to be like, okay, you have to embrace the suck. So many times we try to get away from the suck and we even make it worse by thinking things should be better. But if we switch that thought and say, okay, 1, what can I learn from this situation for next time? The second thing is that, you know what? Life is not happening to me, it's happening for me, right? Because that's, at the end of the day, life is happening for you. Everybody goes through these ups and downs. And sometimes people suck, sometimes things don't work out the way that we want it to work. So just kind of having that understanding, I think is the foundation. The second thing that you're going to do, you're just going to write things that you have. This is what works for me. You're just going to create a list of things that you're already doing, because I bet you anything that you're doing a whole lot more right now than what you actually think in your mind. Then you're going to look at it and you're going to be like, you're going to be surprised. And then you're going to just create one tiny goal of something perhaps that you want to do better the next day. Once you do that, then you're going to celebrate that. And celebrating is just acknowledging. Yeah. It's just being like, hey, I wrote it down and I actually did it. And then sitting in that feeling right there.
Yeah. So just to let you know, and here's the interesting thing is about, right? Winning is not a cookie cutter program. Mm-hmm. So one person's version of winning or getting to a win is different than somebody else's.
Yeah.
So this is Maria's strategy. That is not my strategy.
Yeah.
right? But then who's right and who's wrong?
It's based on your it's based on your
It is
personality,
based on
based on your
personality.
growth, where you're at. Like it's
Yeah.
completely different for everybody else,
So
right?
for me in this case, I'm looking at this and I'm like, what would I do? And I've been in this situation where things have been like blown up in my face, and it's like you don't want to just get out of bed, right? So for me, I live in the future. If I'm in a dark tunnel, all I need is a single point of bright light, and I'll be like, all right, I'm in darkness right now, and this storm will pass. This I can't focus on where I am. I need to focus where I'm going to be.
Yeah.
And so I start thinking about the future. And I tell Tegan this all the time. Today sucks. Today is not a good day. Today's a bad day, whatever. But tomorrow comes, and today is just going to be a memory. It's just going to be an experience or whatever. And so just, you know what? I'm living for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be here. So what can I do now to help me get to tomorrow in a much better place?
Yes, I like that. That's more simple. Go with that.
And so and so what I'll do is I've trained my mind to just let it go, literally just let it go, and then refocus on something else.
Yeah.
And so instead of, like focusing on like, I can't believe this just blew up in my face and da, 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 you know what? I have to recognize that you're not in a good headspace to jump back into it. And that's okay, right? You're not in a good headspace. You feel defeated, you feel like oh my gosh, and so you don't have that motivation. So for me, it's just like, all right, whatever. You know what? I'm going to try again tomorrow. So as for today, what can I do? I'll go to the gym, watch a movie, watch bloopers, Anchorman 1 and 2 bloopers. I'll find ways to laugh.
Yeah.
I'll play a prank on one of my kids. We'll go out to the store. We'll go buy Doritos. We'll whatever. And all this other stuff. And then I'll come back and just really just try and get out of that. Forget about that thing. And then tomorrow comes. It's a new day.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see how I can do this through a different way, a different avenue.
I love that. I actually really, really do love that.
Yeah.
I think it's a more sustainable way to do it.
Yeah.
Just having the thought of like, this too shall pass.
Yeah.
You've had horrible days before. You've gone through horrible things, and you've made it.
Yeah.
Right. So having that resilience, seeing that resilience within yourself, and then being like, okay, this is going to pass, but let me get out of the current situation that I'm in and just go out.
Yeah.
And do something you enjoy.
Yeah.
Come back with a clearer head, and then think about like, what can I do to help me get to where I want to be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so just wondering. Okay, so Vanessa back again. She says, just wondering, right now I'm in the licking my wounds part and accepting that I failed and had no control in the final decision without obsessing on what and why and how could they. Oh, that's a great mindset. And then it says, and Miguel, how did you know I didn't feel like getting out of bed this morning? Hence, here I am. Girl, thank you so much for watching. Listen, it's the normal process.
Yeah.
It's emotions, it's feelings, it's the way that we...
That's you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't know why I'm getting a call. Sorry. But it's normal. Embrace it. Feel the suck right now.
Yeah.
Accept it. So I learned this great strategy to help me to kind of manage my feelings and manage my thoughts. And it's called the ABCs. So I think you and I have spoken to this about that, because we remember when we talked about the concept of you can't fix a thought with another thought.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
So sometimes we get stuck in our thoughts,
Yeah.
and we think that by thinking more, we're going to be able to fix our thoughts, when in reality, that's not the case,
Yeah.
right? So Dr. Kennedy, this doctor that I follow, he suggested a 3-step process, right? And he called it the ABCs. So A is for acceptance, right? You're accepting, you're aware of where you're at, you're aware of what you're feeling. So instead of going into your mind, you go into your body and you're like, okay, what is it that I'm feeling right now, right? Without trying to ask the why, like you said, like without asking the why or why did it happen, when did it happen, like without giving it any meaning, right? Then the B is you focus on your body. So you know how you said you go to the gym?
Yeah.
So you do anything to help you with your body. And one of the things that he suggests is actually breathing. When we breathe, there's something that happens in our body where we cannot actually be stressed and do deep breathing at the same time. So if you breathe, it can help you decrease that stress. The next level up would be getting outside for a walk, would be going to the gym, anything that creates movement, right? Emotions have the E because they're energy, and that energy is stuck in your body. So you need to release it somehow, right? And then C is compassion and connection. so often we're the harshest with ourselves. Sometimes we're like, oh, how could you say that? How could you do that? You should know better. Like sometimes we're our own hardest critics, but instead extending compassion and connection, being like, you know what? This does really suck right now. I am in a lot of pain right now. And this is a learning opportunity, perhaps for you, Vanessa. Or if something's going on, you could just be kind to yourself. What is it that you need? What is it that you wish somebody would do for you to help you to feel better? And then turn that around and do that for yourself.
Yeah.
This creates an ability to be self-reliant as well and to help you kind of work through those emotions.
Yeah, I went to a conference and I use it in my workshops all the time. But it's emotion. Motion creates emotion.
Yeah.
And it is so important that whenever you're feeling, and this is not too long ago. Remember, I was going through that stuff that.
Just some feelings. We're getting stuck.
Remember, like
Yeah.
that some leaders were making certain decisions that I didn't quite whatever, and I was in a dark headspace.
Yeah.
I was in a very, very dark space, that to the point that I could not sleep, to the point that I could not focus on anything else, and it's because of that principle that I was using more thoughts to try and
Fix your current
fix
thought.
it,
Yeah.
my current thoughts, and it was not working like at all, and so. What got me through was these two things. It was just like, no, actually three things. Number one, talking to you. So the minute I talked to you about it, I felt better immediately. I even told
Yeah.
Tegan. I went upstairs and I'm like, I'm in a much better headspace, right?
I should charge you from the therapy sessions
You're not
of that.
You're not charging. If we're gonna start charging,
I'm just kidding.
My invoice is gonna be so much bigger than yours.
True that.
So, like,
I've been in rough spots and I have calls, Miguel.
Oh yeah. So you relax.
Okay.
And so, but I would add to all of this recommendations that we've been giving you. I would also add, connect with somebody.
Yes.
You have to. So what was I watching? Oh, Will Smith and Philip Banks. I was watching an episode that showed up on my feed last night, and it was the part where Will Smith, he was working at a restaurant as a pirate, as a server,
Yeah.
and then the Uncle Phil thought that he was skipping on family responsibilities, that he was not going to practices and all these different things. Meanwhile, he was working. And then Uncle Phil asked him, was like, why are you working so hard at this restaurant? And then he goes, well, I want to stand on my own 2 feet. He's like, I want to, he goes, I know I got so much things happening. I got schools, I got studies, I got family, and I got prom coming up and I have to pay for prom. And I want to feel that feeling of accomplishment that I did it. So when I look back, it'd be like I did that, right? And so, and just worked hard or whatever, right? And then Uncle Phil starts laughing and goes, "That is the biggest bull that I've ever heard in my entire life." He goes, "Nobody accomplishes anything by themselves."
True that.
He goes, I walk through doors because of people have opened it for me, and I work really, really hard to open up doors for other people, especially my children. And so this concept of trying to power through and white knuckle it by yourself, you can't do it. And that's what was happening with me. Mm-hmm. When that crap was happening, I was holding it in by myself, and I kept it. And I was like, I wasn't even talking to Tay, and I wasn't speaking to anybody. All I was doing was complaining, and nobody was listening. The minute I spoke to you, there was some advice, some counsel. I felt better. I got outside, went back to the gym. Yeah. You know what? Tomorrow will come. Summer's going to come and leave. September's going to, whatever's going to be a new day tomorrow. And so I just started forward thinking, and so much better headspace, right?
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you. And like, along with the connecting, you do need to connect with others. That is sometimes why we have so many mental health issues right now. Is the fact that we, one, don't connect with others, or we connect with the wrong person who's like, oh, great, you're telling me your problems. Let me tell you everything about mine. So you have to be very mindful when it comes to that kind of stuff. But honestly, you need community. Like, I am 100% believer that success in any endeavor is a team sport. Yeah. Right? Like, it's the concept of synergy. One alone can do something, but when you actually put more people together, what you can accomplish is insane. Yeah. So, girl, reach out. Thank you so much for actually posting your question on here and connecting with us so we can actually discuss it and tell you more about it and like just kind of give you our insight. That is a form of connecting with others. So we appreciate you. And we just want to remind you, this too shall pass, and you eventually will feel better. the journey's messy and sometimes it doesn't happen right away, but trust and believe that it will come.
Yeah. When was the last time that you reached out to somebody that was not Mike?
I talk to you all the time.
She does.
I talk to
And that's when my invoice would be so much larger.
I talk to people all the time,
know.
right? And that's not something, I think when I was growing up, I was very inward and it was very hurtful for me because
Me too, actually.
yeah, because you try to fix thoughts were thoughts. So this
No,
thought
I'm talking like, were you introverted?
I was. I thought I was an introverted person, but turns out Raquel actually figured it out for me. And she was like, well, because when I was younger, I was uber shy and I was uber introverted, right? And it was not a good experience for me. I didn't feel connected with anybody. It was really, really hard, right? And when I was talking to Raquel, she's like, well, the reason why is because she's like, you're an extrovert who lacked confidence. And I was like, oh.
Oh, dang. What the heck, dude?
That's my 12-year-old. She counsels me. Legit, that's what she
That's
said.
Deep.
That's legit what she said. I was like, you're right. I was an extrovert who wanted connection, who wanted friendship, who wanted to be vulnerable and be open and like put myself out there, but I lacked connection and confidence. I lacked confidence
I
because
think that was me too then.
yeah, we were.
Holy crap, dude.
My 12-year-old just helped us to understand our past way better. Shout out to you, Raquel.
So I don't have to pay for all that therapy anymore?
You just talk to her. She's like,
Just speak to her?
she called me birth giver the other day. She's like, thank you, birth giver. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't know if to be offended or to be like
Proud.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's my daughter.
Yeah, so I was, because growing up, it was the exact same thing. I would watch Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
And study Zach Morris and AC Slater and how they were with the girls and stuff like that, and literally study them out. And not just them, but also Fresh Prince. It got to a point where people were like, you remind me of Will. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know why.
Meanwhile, he's like taking out his notes.
Not even, that's not even a joke. I would come home, record his episodes, and just watch them over and over. Not for the purpose of like, I like this episode and being entertained. It's because I was studying the way that he communicated, the way that his personality and all these different things. And so, because I lacked
Confidence.
Yeah, I lacked the confidence, right? I was an extroverted, just dying to come out in an introverted body.
Yeah. You were in a shell, right? Yeah.
I was.
So it was the same for me. I literally struggled so much. I actually struggled so much until I was in my late 20s. It was only after where I blossomed into the person that you see now.
Well, I don't know about blossom. I don't know if I would use that word.
I truly did blossom.
What is she saying there?
All right. So Vanessa says, thank you, y'all. I did talk to a friend that was more incensed on what was happening to me than I was upset about. And the comedy of it helped me to feel better a bit. Yes, I'm so happy. No, it wasn't Michelle, though. She has done the same thing for me and for something else. Love you, girl. Who, Michelle or me? You better be talking to me. Just kidding. Probably to Michelle. It's true, though. And I'm like, that's the importance of actually talking to other people because they give you a different perspective.
Yeah. And I'll eat my own words here. Not eat, like I'll swallow my own pride. But I do, the more and more like I've engaged in this particular podcast and bringing some of my challenges to you before the pre-show, like before the podcast, and
even on the podcast,
even during the podcast,
you have to know that Miguel was very like close person.
Yeah.
You're there to give advice.
Yeah.
But receiving advice.
Well, no.
No. I don't want to say receiving advice. What I want to say is maybe you weren't comfortable enough opening up.
That's 100%.
And so it was
100%.
It was hard, right? Like,
yeah.
But we've had instances where I've known things have been wrong, and I'm like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
And then at that point, you're like, da, 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 da. And I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah. And I'm still mindful. I'm still careful who I bring into my circle because I do recognize the importance of having the right people in your circle.
Yes, I agree.
So that I still have filters. I'm friendly to everyone.
Yes.
I love everyone. Everyone's, whatever. But then who I bring into this dark world of mine where I get challenges and problems and whatever like that, I'm very mindful because again, you have to be important, and I think we all should have filters. We all should have some form of judgment to allow to people in, because if There's some people that will secretly be happy that you are failing and that you're not succeeding, and that they will talk trash behind your back. And these people are like cancer in your life, and you have to be very mindful and careful. And so
I agree. There are some people that you will know what you can say because you know that what they're hearing from you is going to go to other people. I've had friends like that where I edit what I say. Well, not that I edit. I'm just mindful of not being as open. Or if I'm struggling with something, because I don't technically want the whole world to know.
Yeah. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, this next week is going to be the final episode to this series that we've had. And so again, a 30-second recap. Months ago, I did a podcast. I did a workshop. It was a CEO reached out to me and said that she wanted me to come in and talk about just some of the key principles of entrepreneurship and what does it take to be an entrepreneur. And so I did a quick search, and these 10 things came up. So we have number 1, set clear and achievable goals. Number 2, maintaining positive mindset. Number 3, develop a support system. Which,
there we go. That's what we talked about today, right?
Just talked about right now. Number 4, embrace failures as learning opportunities. Number 5, stay flexible. Number 6, practice self-care. Number 7, keep a progress journal. Number 8, find your why, which we've talked about that many times. Today is about celebrating your small wins. And next week is going to be our last episode for this series, which is visualize success.
Ooh, I like that one. I've been doing that.
Yeah, you do that every morning.
I do it every morning. I do 10 minutes every morning, and I can tell the difference from where I was before I started visualizing to where I'm at now.
So I'm a huge, massive believer, and there's actually a recipe out there put out by the guy I listen to every day before I go to bed. The Strangest Secret.
What's his name?
Earl Nightingale.
Yes.
So Earl Nightingale, for like the last, I would say 5 years. I would say 5 years. Every night before I go to bed, I listen to Earl Nightingale.
Like,
yeah, Earl Nightingale, and he has a famous talk workshop, something. It's called The Strangest Secret, and he's pretty much the grandfather of motivational and philanthropist and whatever. Like, you got Tony Robbins, Les Brown, all of these guys, they've pulled from his stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
They every single one of them at some point in their life quote Earl Nightingale.
Yep.
And so this is one of the OG workshops. Again, it's called The Strangest Secret. And every night I go to bed listening to it. I put my phone on a timer, 15 minutes in, it shuts off. But one of the things is the visualizing. Mm-hmm. Every morning you have to visualize. And he actually produces a recipe for success for the next 30 days. And he says, I'm
excited to hear about this recipe.
We're going to talk about it. And he says that if you do this for 30 days, 100%, you are going to reach
your goal,
all your goals.
I want to hear about it.
So
all right, I'm excited.
Yeah, you gotta tune in next week because it's gonna be fire. Fire.
You look like you were either gonna burp or throw up. I don't know.
So I'm also looking for a new co-host.
I've been booted out. That's all right.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I want to.
Listen, nobody's gonna be as good as me. So.
Oh, we got Jason Palmer, Mike, your husband. Like I got people.
Mike and Jason be like, move over, Maria.
We already had Jason here on the show.
Yeah, we did.
And he did phenomenal.
Yeah, 100%.
It was one of our highest ratings, and so.
I just bring the podcast down. I understand.
You, Maria, you complete me.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the comments. And thank you for being here with us. We appreciate you. We wish you the best week ever. And before we go, what did you learn?
She's still judging me for the measuring cup. Don't judge me because of the measuring cup. I'm
100%.
telling you. No, don't judge me.
100%. You should. Okay, so what was your biggest takeaway this week? This
podcast?
This? Mm-hmm.
My biggest takeaway was, I think, the reiteration of the importance of connecting with the right people to either help you celebrate your successes or help you through tough times. just you need a community. It's one of the F's, right? For me, it's the friend. And so I work really, really hard on these 5 F's. And so
His 5 F's are fire.
fire. So yeah.
Oh, fire F too, eh? I just realized. Oh my gosh.
What's your takeaway?
You know what? My takeaway is that I'm just appreciative of Vanessa of opening up in here and asking a question and letting us get into, or like getting into your mind and trying to do our best to help you through. So I really appreciate that. So thanks, girl. And for any of you out there, if you are going through any difficulties, feel free to actually comment, share us messages. We would love to kind of gear our podcast in order to be able to answer questions and help you through whatever it is going on in your life.
100%. It's always up there for you to, and even we always check my messages afterwards as well. So we're always checking our matrix. But ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of the show, we appreciate everything that you've done for us, and please make sure you like, share, subscribe to all of our social medias, which is up here, and make sure that you hit that notification button so that when we go live, you are the first ones to receive that notification. Also, make sure you check us out in our other podcast, which is every Saturday mornings at 9, which is come follow with us. It's more of a faith-based Christian podcast.
Yes, absolutely. Have an amazing week. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Get a minute, don't know. Get a minute of your time. Get a minute of your. First job gotta live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. Part of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its side. Fall down, that from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye. What you hear in your side.